Hey, good morning. Good morning. This is an extra for me. I saw you guys on Monday and I said I will see you next Monday, but look at I'm here on Friday. So welcome, welcome. It's Cheryl from Tinker's Card Art and it's Cardboard Friday. And I actually just got a spot this morning, so I'm pretty excited. I thought this would be a fun event, Friday event, and there was a last minute spot available. So here I am, and we're going to paint on some cardboard. It's going to be so cool. Say hello when you come on, and put your name in the comments, or give StreamYard permission, and it will put your name on your comment so I can see who you are. And I'm going to paint as I talk because, of course, I have an ambitious project. Hey, Vicky. Hello, West Virginia. Yes, I saw you on Monday. Yeah, so this was totally last minute. So I just thought of what could I paint? I've been big into wanting to do some nutcrackers lately. I know some of you saw the wooden nutcracker. I did show you. They have huge, big nutcrackers at Hobby Lobby. I know it's hard. Let me just switch this for a second. I want to say hi, hi. Big, huge nutcrackers. Little ones as well were buy one, get three free. How could I resist? And I do love nutcrackers. So I thought, let me do a nutcracker on cardboard. And instead of doing a simple little project, here I am. Good morning, Cheryl, with something crazy, but it's going to be fun. And I know we won't get every bit of it done, but we're going to start it. And I'm actually going to make a pattern. So I took pictures of the pieces and I'm going to make a pattern. I know it would have been easy if I had little pieces and we put them together right here, but of course it's huge. Hi, Lisa. Hello. I just saw your segment and I love your little tree. I'm last minute. I just signed up this morning for this. So I've been a busy beaver cutting out an Amazon box. And what I did is I cut it out and I do have a little video and I will, like I said, make a pattern. Thank you, Vicky, so much. I appreciate it. So if you'd like a pattern, you could put your name in the comments and just comment pattern and I'll get it to you. And so what I did is I cut it out, kind of free-handed it, but on the back I labeled my little bits. So this is an arm, this is the little epaulette thing on the top, the body, the face. And I quickly started base coating some pieces just now so that we could really jump in and get going. Hey, Pam, thank you. So what a fun idea. I've never painted cardboard pieces before, and I just thought this sounded intriguing. So I'm just base coating all my little pieces. And again, I know what they are because you think you'd remember, but some of them are sort of the same. And I'm actually painting a little epaulette thing that I thought was, and it's a boot, but they're all the same shape. So I'm going to just base coat them quick. It did not gesso or anything. Hey, Babs, good morning. And Debbie. Yes, just put in the comments and I'll get you this. And I will finish it up later and post pictures. I'm ambitious, so I have my glue gun handy, but, you know, we may not get to that part. So I'm base coating, like I do with a lot of my projects. I am an acrylic painter. I teach acrylic painting online and in person. If you're new, welcome. If you're one of my Tinker's Card Art peeps and you do not follow Craft Around the Clock, look at how much fun we have. Do follow live crafters every day, weekday, an event on weekends sometimes. And on Fridays, we sometimes have special events. So this is pretty cool. Hey, Debbie, first time watching. Welcome. And I just moved to Florida. So I am loving it. So you're going to see me paint this nutcracker in shades of like teal and pink, because now that I'm in Florida, I feel like everything has to be teal and pink. So I'll get over that, but I'm having a blast painting all my flamingos and alligator paintings, and then taking any of my seasonal paintings. I've sort of been using a kind of a pastel color palette. You know, if you watch me, I talk about color palette a lot when I'm designing my paintings or, you know, thinking about what I want to illustrate or paint. Same with this guy. In my head, I've been kind of saving images of pastel, teals, pinks, and that sort of thing. So I knew I wanted that, but I don't want to get 1,000 colors out. So I've limited my palette. I just have certain colors that I will mix amongst themselves and see where it takes us. Lori, of course, my friend. Debbie, I'm in Lakeland, and I am absolutely loving it. I have moved from, I lived in Mass. I do have a summer camper in Maine. I will go back up north in the summer. Meanwhile, I am loving it here. So, and Ocala, I know what that is. I'm learning where all the places are, but I think I know what that is. I'll have to look. Sage, good morning. And so I've base coated my pieces, like I say. I have a label on the back, so when I go to put them together. But let's just keep on base coating things. This is my little hat band. I'm going to paint that black. What I'm loving about cardboard, because I've not painted on cardboard before, is the paint is covering and drying pretty well. I won't have to do multiple coats on some of the things, and I won't have to wait for things to dry because they really are drying rather quickly, which is cool. We all have Amazon boxes around, so there we go. We have something to do with it. Although I love, Lisa, your some of the people I know do cereal boxes and things, and that's kind of cool. Did I do a cereal box thing once? I might be lying about painting on cardboard. I might have done something on a cereal box. What was it? I did some craft on a cereal box, painted. Anywho. Okay, now I've got two arms, his body, and this is his hat, right? Hat. And like I said, I want to kind of go on some tealy pinky looks, but it's almost like I feel like his hat has, no, I'm going to do his hat a color too. And then I've got arms. So the arms and the body will be one color. The hat will be a different color. I did the legs kind of a maroon. I'm going to highlight with a little pink. So I think I'll go with a teal for the body and maybe the hat. Yep, Gloria and I did go to school together. We have been friends forever. She was on Monday. And Tammy, welcome from Worcester. Hello, that's my old stomping grounds because I did close my retail store that was in Worcester for the last 3 years. Before that, I was in Clinton since the early 90s, and I sold Irish imports, which was cool. But I'm so thrilled to be painting most of the time now. As you can imagine, I'm going to get a big brush for this guy. This is the biggest piece here. That's his body. And what I'm going to do, I made him sort of dimensional looking. That's why there's so many pieces, you guys, because I'm going to layer things on. Originally, I had made him cut with slits so he could stand. I didn't want to get involved with that this morning. I don't know if that would really work. So I am going to make a Nutcracker, kind of dimensional. I started, of course, way too big, like I do. I just am very ambitious, and then it's like a race to get done in time. And if we don't finish in time, we will get a good bit painted. Hello, Gail. Gail is one of my Tinker's Cardists art membership. I do have an art membership where I paint with my members every month. It's kind of cool. So that is one of my favorite things. So yeah, so I'm not in retail for the first time in my life at Christmas time. So I'm having fun doing all the Christmas things. If there's a Christmas event, I'm all over it because I missed so many all these years. I enjoyed putting up my tree for the first time instead of either not putting it up or putting it up really quickly before work and then, hardly seeing it because, the hours with retail. So anyways, I am thrilled to be here. Please, all you guys, say hello. I'm thrilled to have you all here. I'm generally on Mondays, but it varies. And this spot was available for Cardboard Friday this morning, so I grabbed it. I was looking at the schedule in bed this morning, and I thought I could figure out something to paint on cardboard. And welcome, Kit. Kit's here too. Welcome, you guys. Well, Kit, I think I met you through the store, right? You're a customer of the Tinker's Cart, which is my import business, and then she has joined me painting. So I'm going to base coat. And when I'm painting my regular paintings, whether it's a landscape or still life or flowers and whatnot, a lot of times I do put down a base coat. Acrylics are a little, sometimes acrylics are a little bit transparent. So I base coat things so that I can go back and add the highlights and the shadows. And that's the fun part to me. So on these guys, I'm going to paint little details. I'm going to shade and highlight. I don't know, but I probably will put some glitter. I've got these scribbles paints, which are fun for dimension. I have a metallic silver for the buttons and buckles and different things I want to add that to. I think it's fun because it's almost like a mixed media kind of a thing that I'm going to really glob on things. Maybe I'll use buttons for his buttons. I'm not sure. Lisa, good morning. Lisa is a brand new member of my Tinker's Artist art group. It's a mouthful, I know. Anyway, and since I did mention that I had Irish imports, where the name comes from. My import business all the years was called Tinker's Cart. So when I started the side hustle of the painting classes, I did Tinker's Cart art because it kind of went. So good morning, Jessica. Thank you, guys. We are speeding along, but you know what? You're going to see me do some pieces. I'll go back in afterwards and I'll glue everything together and put some little finishing touches on. This is the same color because it's my arms. And I'll post the pictures. But I said, I'm going to make a pattern. Hi, Sheila. So if you would like a pattern, and I will make a little pattern and a big one, because you might want to make little guys. They might be great fun to make with the kids. And I think you could probably back them with something to make them stand. I'm going to hang mine, but I'm sure you could figure out something to make him stand. So I will make a few sizes, and you just simply cut up your Amazon box and you just cut the pieces. I did not even base coat them. I'm just jumping right in and painting. Mary, hi Mary, I know. Well, Ocean Breeze and me, please. You guys, a lot of my fellow Crack Around the Cloth creators pop in. Mary is one. Please take a look at her page. It's Ocean Breeze and me, and please give her a follow. I would love it if you were new to me to give me a follow, but as well as share the love with all the other creators. We are here every day. Not we're here, but there is our creators on every day. And the biggest thing you can do to help us along to get, more visibility here is simply send an emoji, make a comment, follow, and share. All simple things, but really does help us each out quite a bit. So anybody of my crafty friends here, put your name of your business, please, in your comment so we can all follow each other. Oh, Sage, yes, you're a new presenter too, I believe. And thank you for following. I think if I didn't follow you, I know Tracy just updated the list, so I'm going to go through and get all the new people followed. So, okay, I'm doing the teal there, pinkish on his hat, but I'm going to start a tiny bit light, darker. So I am just grabbing a little bit more of a maroon for the hat, and then like on these little legs, I am going to, okay, can you even see me? Am I working out of the camera? Sorry, guys, let me do this. Jeez Louise. I really hopped on quick this morning, like I said. So I want you to see, I'm painting it just kind of a darker maroon. And if you guys can't see, or something's wonky, or you can't hear me right, always just try to put it in the comments so I know. Good morning, Tanya. Pam, I'm so glad to see you. I love it that you pop in all the time. It's really nice to see my new friends and my old friends. A little bit more pink and a little more red. I didn't really put nearly enough paint out. I wasn't sure how the cardboard would take, but it does absorb it kind of a lot. So it is sucking the paint in, but it is drying quick, which is cool. Any questions about anything? This is just kind of a fun little project we're doing here. And with the holiday, that's what it's all about. I really like Nutcrackers. Do any of you have a Nutcracker theme? I know that is a big deal, and I love Nutcrackers. I've been painting a lot, but I really haven't kept any for myself. Oh, I'm glad you made it. Thank you. It's nice to pop in live. I listen and have the creators on in the background, even if I'm not following along so much. I'm kind of listening. It's just, isn't it a great community, you guys? Don't you love it? Isn't it wonderful to be able to tune in and see your friends and chit chat and see somebody making something really cool? Let's throw a little pink in there, because I am going to go back with a little pink. So I think pretty much all of my pieces are base coated. I've just been kind of putting flat coats of paint on what they are. And if you've just joined in, I just cut them out a little while ago and marked on the back what the piece is. Mary, hello, Mary. Put your name in there, Mary, so we can have people follow you as well. I just have this little piece. It's part of the hat, like a little bit, like that little thing that hangs. So what color would I want that is the question. It's probably going to be like a gold. So maybe let's do a gold, because then it would be like, I'll put metallic gold. It's like a little braid, the little braids on the shoulders. And I was going to put little circles on them because that's what there are. I couldn't cut a good circle out of the cardboard. So I'm going to maybe use a button or something. You could add pom-poms. You could add fringe. Since my move, really didn't have room to take my stash of stuff. So I'm building up a new stash. So like I said, it's kind of mixed media-ish. If you have a lot of little things to add, you could do that. All right. We have 30 minutes, so let's start decorating our guys. Let's get one quick second coat. The other colors are all covered well. The flesh color is a little bit see-through, so I'm just going to do that one light color with a second coat. I think I can do just with the highlighting and the shading, and then adding little doodads to the other bits. I don't think we need a second coat. It's kind of nice that the coverage is so well. I'm pulling in some of the maroon, I think, from underneath there. And again, am I off? Gosh, you guys, let me move this. I moved my back way back before because I was such a big project. But I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to just paint the flesh on the face, and while it's wet, just give them little rosy cheeks. And I like to do that if I can, when the flesh is wet. So I will grab a pencil, piece of chalk too, just to sketch on if I need to sketch anything on where it goes. Chalk is fabulous because I can just erase it. I made a little glob on here of that teal. So let's just touch that up. And oh, good. Yep, I'm sorry. I wish you guys could talk. It's like I like being on the Zoom because then you can like holler at me and say, "Hey, wait a minute, I can't see you." And I would like to say that usually I'm a little better prepared and I have organized what I'm painting. But honestly, guys, I might organize and know what I'm painting, and then before I go on, I jump on and do something else. So this is nothing new, of just kind of last minute. So we want a little cheek on those guys. Yes, welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Patty. So his face, what are they? Their faces are pretty simple, actually. His hat might come down a little. So, and then they have these funny little teeth. I even have some fur in case I want to put fur. I'm going to put fur maybe for his hair. But let's just say this is where the mustache is. I'm just drawing it in rough because it is wet, and that have that funny mouth and the little beard. We can paint on, or maybe I will use the fur. But I just want an idea where my cheek's going to be here. And then their nose, I kind of do a pink usually. So I need a little smaller brush. I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of red in with that flesh tone. And I don't know sometimes if it'll show. Can barely see that. And plus I know it is shiny because the paint is wet. But I want to have it so that you can see it. But I want to kind of blend it a little bit. So I'll get those little cheeks on there. And I'm usually pretty much of a perfectionist and I want it perfect, but I kind of like the idea of making a little rougher and brush strokery and I want to say abstract, but not worrying too much about perfect brush strokes. I think I want to make it more of a fun project. I think if I just kind of spiral that out a little bit, I get some nice, I see how they look great in the video. That's the tip too. And I know I say it all the time, but step away from your work or take a picture of it. For me, seeing it in the video is much more telling than looking at it here, right too close, So don't judge your paintings when you're painting them this close. I love their little Nutcracker noses. I think they're kind of like something like this. And I'm just going to paint it in the pink. It's kind of graphic looking. I'll highlight it at some point, but let's see. And I have some Nutcracker pictures here that I'm kind of referring to as I go. I've done illustrations of Nutcrackers. We did in my art membership, maybe last Christmas, I think the year before, we did a whole row. It was painted, but it was after an illustration that I had done with for a Christmas card, a whole roll of Nutcrackers. And then on the inside, the card was, what did it say? Have a nutty Christmas, something. I had some funny little saying on there. So there is a nose. I do like to highlight sometimes while it's wet, so I might just give it a little bit of a highlight. And I think I'll grab a teensy bit of white. So we'll definitely finish the face and some of the other things. Mustache and beard and stuff. I think I'll do white because I do have some white fur that I think I might glue on for his hair after and maybe for his beard. His mustache would be difficult to create with that. Let me find his hat bit so that I can make sure I'm painting his. This is going to be the hat. Where's the big hat piece? Oh, this here. As I was cutting them out, I had to keep kind of putting them together and reworking. I just want to make sure I paint the eyes so that you can see them. I'll probably do something like this. So he needs some eyes and he needs some eyebrows. Let's get the white of the eyes painted in first. Good morning, Patty and Mary and Melanie. I already said hi to Mary. So, okay, eyes. The white of his eyes first. I give my eyes, I'm going to make him with blue eyes, but let's just think about his nose. Not that he's realistic, but you're going to want to kind of the proportions sort of right. And now I've got an idea. So those can go. And probably a couple coats of white for his eyes. So I'm making kind of the half circle kind of eyes. We have another fun event coming up very close to Christmas is the stocking challenge, which I can't wait. That is so fun. It's so entertaining. What we do is one of those challenges where each crafter sends a box of supplies to another, and then the other crafter has to open it up on live and then create something with it. And that's a real challenge, but it's so fun. Those have been my favorite episodes, to be honest. So you'll have the crafters will have their stocking base. You could paint on, wood. Look at, we can make cardboard, and then with the supplies that the other crafter has sent you, the mystery package, you have to open it up and then create your stocking from those items. So that will be, I know I'm on for the 22nd, but I think it's the 21st as well. Keep an eye out with fun right before Christmas to watch us go live. It's kind of fun. All right, so the little mouth on these guys, and he needs a little, I'm going to put the mustache in so I kind of know where it is. It's going to have kind of a white mustache, but I don't want to just paint it completely white first. I need to go in with a little bit of a blue, say, a black. I just want a bluish gray to start. That way I can go back with the white and really highlight it. If you start with the bright white, you have no place to go, and you don't want to just shade it because then it gets kind of dark again. So a little mustache. And you can see me good. Okay. So I'm just going to base it in this gray. And while the paint's wet, I'll just kind of keep going into my white a little more and make that. I think I might want to go and make it sort of like a curly, not a curly, but this sort of thing, kind of that sort of a shaped mustache. I just switched to my little round brush there for a minute. And I'm going to get a big round brush so I can almost just take the white now. Starting on the end so that the hair is kind of laying in the right direction, I'll just do this. And you can see how it picks up some of the wet gray, which I like, using kind of a dirty brush. And I like that. It picks up gray. Sometimes it's a lighter, sometimes it's darker, and that way it just looks more natural. So you can see just with a couple coats how you can get that effect. Starting at the end again, kind of just using those strokes. Work way right up. And I do that with any kind of hair, whether it's people, animals. I start at the end and work up so that the hair is laying right, or fur, that sort of thing. And I want it to get even a little brighter, so as it's drying and I get more white paint, I can make some strokes that are a little lighter. And then I build up. I might be working on some other piece, and I look back and I say, oh, that needs a little bit more white. I may even go in with the dimensional kind of fabric kind of paint thing, but it gives it, it's just like dimensional, which I like. So I might go on and do some strokes with that when this is dry. And I'm going to do the eyebrows the same way. I could have actually base coated those eyebrows in with that gray when I was just doing this one, but eyebrows, let's see, I'm going to just kind of give them just eyebrows like that, I suppose, are good enough. And that's really on the blue side, which I don't mind. I really rather have a blue-gray. And again, I will start at the end of the eyebrow and pull out those strokes. That's a little dark. I got one blue eyebrow, one gray. That's all right. Give it a second, and now we'll go with the white again. Yeah, so is everybody, it's getting to be here, the holiday. I just can't even believe it. But yeah, I got all my decorating out. I got the yard stuff done. Don't need to buy a lot of gifts, and I like to make many of them, because who doesn't appreciate a handmade gift more than anything? So that's what I will start a little bit. I've got a few done, but. And simple, don't spend too much time on each little bit, just kind of do it, move on. And then as you're painting other bits, you could kind of take a look and see if it's something that you need to address. It's acrylic paint, which is fabulous for touching up, redoing if you need to. So there. Is it perfectly even? Probably not. And second coat on the white of the eyes. Let's do that. And I do want them a little kind of wonky, so I'm not going to worry too much. most detail we're doing on this guy is the face, so this will be done. And then we'll just start building outward. We'll put the hat. That won't need much, just a little highlight maybe. His eyes were going to be fun. With this white dry, we'll do the eyes. And if I think it needs, I could sort of take a little white and just do a little bit more of a highlight on his cheeks, you know. And his mouth. Let's see. They have these crazy mouths on the Nutcrackers. So I need to do that in kind of a pink to start. And then we'll just put the teeth in. They're kind of fun looking. So I think, let's see, where's mustache? It would go like right along here. Just kind of a rounded rectangle. And if anybody's just popped on, it is a Nutcracker made of cardboard pieces. I made them in all of these pieces instead of just cutting a flat piece of cardboard out the shape of a Nutcracker, so it would be kind of dimensional. And I am going to devise a pattern for you. So when I cut this out, I did photograph it, and I will make a few pattern sizes. If it's something you would like to do, just in the comments, just say pattern, and I'll message you, or I'll post it in the description of the recording or something. So we simply on the hands just did them the flesh color, but let's give them a little highlight and shadow. I know that I'm going to make it a little lighter at the ends of the little hands. So let me just go back into my flesh color. I'm going to load my brush with that. I'm going to take some white on the corner, and I just want the end of the hand to be a little lighter. So I'm just going to brush that in. And because I have some of the flesh color on the brush already, it should look a little bit just blended in, maybe with a little more white. So I'm sort of just floating the white on the end of the hand. And then up here, there'll be a little shadow. I am going to stick these under the little sleeves. So I'm not sure exactly where that'll happen, but let me get a little, just a little burnt sienna for the shadow color. Let me get that. Move my guy over here so you can see him. Teeny bit more of the flesh color. I know it's speed painting, you guys, but I want you to see some of the detail that I put on, and then I will afterwards glue them together because he's got lots of pieces, lots of little pieces. It's like a puzzle. I think it's a blast. I never thought really of taking the big cardboard boxes and using them as a base for something. But just think of it. You could use, I had so many ideas. Of course, I narrowed it down to this, but I wanted to do an octopus. I got a birthday card of an octopus, and it's just the two pieces stuck together, but all the legs and a little Santa hat and whatnot. But anyways, I thought I went more ambitious, I guess, is the thing. I should have done some little octopus. But I also saw some things with the mixed media. Say you decoupage on some sheet music or something. That would be kind of cool. So I'm just giving it a little shadow across the top. I am going to, I don't want to go quite that far down. Like I said, I've got to leave room where that hand is getting glued on too. So I probably am okay. Let me just scooch this up a tiny bit. I think that's fine. That's all you need. So the little hands are done. I'll put them over here. Let's finish his, the white's still a little wet. Let's just let it dry. We'll do the eyes. We'll detail the eyes. We'll do the little teeth in the mouth. I'm probably going to use the fur afterwards for that. And ideally, maybe I'll change the pattern. If I'm going to use the fur for that, I probably should have left the cardboard for the face out to here and then had something to glue it to. So I will probably glue him onto a bigger piece. But in the pattern, I'll leave room for you if you want to glue that fur on. And if not, you could just paint the hair on there too. And okay, so the hat is going to be this with a band and that's his belt. And those are his boots. Oh, here it is. And so it's going to have like a little hat band, but then it has this little visor bit too. I may rearrange that because I think that I like to see if I'm stacking them, it gives it more dimension. But this is kind of cutting it close, although it can go over his eyebrows a little bit, I suppose. I think it'll be okay. I don't know if I want to use the band though, because it's a lot of black. So let's just something like this. It's the little visor. I do again still want to put a little highlight on there. I don't need a shadow because it's black. So when I shade on black things, whether it's an animal or black hair on a person, I use a light blue, because if we do it with gray, it's just very dull. And if it's on a person or an animal, even a little dog, and it's black, and you shade it with the gray, it looks very old. So you want it to look a little bit younger, and actually add more color. So I'm going to just get a little bit of light blue on my brush. I'll just mix it here with my. So again, I'm just sort of side loading. I just got the light blue on one side of the brush, and I'm just going to, I want it lightest just along the end there. So I've just got the side of the brush with the paint on it towards there. I might just side load the other side with a little black, because that way it kind of blends on my brush at the same time. If you've done any kind of one-stroke painting or that sort of thing, that's the idea. So it's just something like that, just as a little, whoops, just so it's got a little bit more oomph to it, not just all black. I'm spreading it out a little bit. And these are the sort of things you can go back and touch up, but that's that. The hat itself, I wanted to get pinker in the middle. Like the hat was, if it's rounded in 3D, you want to make it look that way. A highlight in the middle will make it look like the middle is coming towards you a little more. Hey, Deborah from Arizona. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. I'm going to get my big brush for this, and I'm going to go right on there with some pink. And I'm going to kind of mix it with some of that dark as I go. I want to have it, sometimes it's nice to have it wet and wet. So if I re-wet this darker area a little bit here, I will get a nicer blend. So that's how I do make my two-dimensional paintings look three-dimensional, as I get a base color. I do some highlighting and some shading. Makes a two-dimensional flat object look round. And the method to do that is a couple of ways. I sometimes just wet and wet. That's why I paint fairly fast. Sometimes I float the color on like this on the little headband. Because they're acrylics and they dry fast. If I was oil painting, you wouldn't have this problem. But I try to make the acrylics sort of act like my oils a little bit by painting fast with them. So there, that's just enough to make that look like it's like a little bit rounded. And that is going to be here. The little, I don't know what to call it, but it comes along here. And this is where I wanted to put some dimensional little cardboard circles that I could not cut out even. So buttons, maybe I'll use buttons. Anything that I wanted metallic silver, I simply painted in that yellow ochre color. So that I will go over with my metallic gold that I did get out here. Let's see, where are you? Right here. Because if you start with the metallic gold, it's a little thin and see-through. So I always put a yellow ochre, not a bright yellow, not a white, but just a yellow ochre color. It's that gold, nice gold. And it just helps it for the gold to show up the best. So, and again, it's I know it's all little pieces, you guys, but it is a Nutcracker for those of you who might have popped on and wonder, what on earth is she doing? But see how that covers so nice now, that gold? So I'm going to just put it here to dry. While I'm at it, why don't we just put the gold on our little buckle? And again, the little pieces are because I like the dimensional look of it. Especially with cardboard. It's not just a flimsy little single piece of cardboard. It's going to have some dimension to it. These are the little things that are going to go on his shoulders. And all of these little pieces, I'm painting them, but you know, you could do it with mixed media. You could decoupage onto the cardboard with your Mod Podge some beautiful scrapbook papers or sheets of music, book pages. I think that would be a really cool looking mixed media. And then glue on your buttons and pom-poms and whatnot. I think that would be fabulous. And look at how well that covered just in one coat. That's so cool. All right. Hi, Joyce from Connecticut, my other neighbor to the south when I was in Mass. Okay, eyes, and finish his little face. I will probably put a coat of polyurethane on him. I just use like Minwax Polycryl. I get it at the hardware stores. It's water-based, cleans up easy. Just just to protect it a little bit. I'm just going to paint his blue eyes in, the iris of the eye. Then I'll put the pupils. It's kind of a graphic quality to him, more like an illustration than a real person. And I love to paint. I love to teach painting. I love to see people discover painting, even if they think they have no talent and have never painted before. That's my ideal person. I want you to jump in and try it and make it very easy. I usually give you a pattern, tracer. And like I said, if you want the pattern to the sky, I will do my best. I think I can do it right. I can do it from my photos I took. And I'm going to make small ones. His eyes are pretty wonky. That's okay. This one's bigger. I'll fix it. I need a little pupil in there, black, and then what makes it is the highlight with a little shiny thing. I am going to take a little bit of flesh color, and I'm going to kind of touch that eye up as we go. I want it to be a little smaller, but I think I might just take and put a little bit of an eyelid on him. That's like a little darker shade of the flesh color. So let me get the pupil in there, and then when that all dries, we'll work on getting that. And I do want to put a few more little white hairs on his eyebrows. So I'm going to just do kind of a little, not complete circle. Can you see how these circles are cut off at the top? They're not a complete round eye, but we just put that pupil in there. And then when it's dry and I put that little white highlight, that really makes the whole thing. So we'll do that. And I did just want a couple more, just building up, so it's almost a little textured as well. A few more little brighter white, especially if I want it to match that fur that's white. So I might just, and this is all stuff I do to all of the bits when I see it needs just a little more oomph. I'd rather start and have it a subtle buildup though. So it's not like I didn't do it right the first time. I like to go very subtly and just add if it needs it, because it's hard to take it away if you put too much. So I just kind of add that. I think I really want to make more little hairs kind of coming out like that. And let's give him some teeth. And I'm just going to use a little square brush about the size if I want to make the little teeth. And then I can just do it like all in one little stroke. Let's see, I had a good brush, this one right here. Whenever a color does not cover another one, just let it dry and put another coat. It's not something that you have to try to build it up and put it down too heavy, because then it just gets globby. So I'd rather have you just put a light thin coat, and I'm just doing one little stroke with the teeth here. Reload my brush. I know it's creepy looking, but that's how these little Nutcracker mouths are, aren't they? Right? So let's let his face dry a little bit. I'll put that over there. Something I did on my Santa recently, which was kind of cool, if you saw the big wooden Santa, is I took the dimensional, the slick paints, and I know they're probably more for fabric, but you can decorate on top, and especially if you do it in a color that's like tone on tone, it just gives it a little dimension. I thought well, the pink one I have here is a little bright, but I might do some of that afterwards too. So you've got all kinds of things you can add, but for now, let's just take a look at where we're at here. We've got, this is going to be his hat. We're going to put this on. We're going to do this with the gold bit. So we're building him, but don't you like the way the dimension is? And then he's going to be quite big, because look at it, guys. This is his body, which I'm just going to glue onto here. And then these little guys will come here. Oops, you can't really see that now. Hang on, we push them up a little bit. So the body, and then he's going to have the shoulder things, the arms, and the legs and belt. And I know it's so big, I should have done it little, but you'll see it all afterwards. So we've got all this part done. We're going to just touch up his face when we get a second. And the bigger pieces are pretty simple because, for instance, his arms. And I could cut little cuffs for them too. I didn't think of that. I could almost do little cuffs for them, because these are the little hands which will just get glued onto here. I'm just going to use my glue gun. I probably will finish painting them. I will put the polyurethane on them. Then I'll glue them all together. And so we got 5 more minutes. And I'm going to just show you like just some basic shading, just like we were doing. I just want to make just a little light and dark. So maybe even just light on here. I'm just going to shade the outside of the arms a little lighter. So let me just go right back into the paint that I used, that dark teal. I might grab just a little of the lighter teal, maybe a little white. I want it just to be a little light on the outside edge. And you can just work that just like this. And that, I think, I don't even need to put a darker shade on the inside. I think that's good. And you can just bring that over. I think I might bring it in a little more towards the center. And just for something like the sleeve, that's enough. On the body itself, I might do some of the little buttons and the little, with the dimensional paint, maybe just make some decorative touches there. I'm going to actually do this one. Wide brush. I've loaded it up with the teal color we used. I put a little light white and lighter teal on one side. I get it right down that edge. And then I'm just kind of working it in. This part is dry. So by putting some of that on my brush, a little more light, I can really just bring it in so it's kind of a nice gradual blend. I want it a tiny bit brighter on the outside edge. And so these are going to get glued on to his body. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, guys. If anyone wants a pattern, I know he's pretty big, and I'm going to finish him and post him in a little bit. So it will be kind of fun to see him all put together. These are the little shoulder bits that are going to be here. It needs a little something still, so I think I might even, I don't know, but maybe I wonder how this will look, this little dimensional gold, if I was to just make it kind of like, what do you call it? It's like a fringe, say, right? So I'm wondering if I can just make it the little fringe things and see if that shows up. I think it needs to be a little bit darker. So if I just kind of stain it a little bit with the brown, just a little wash, and then put the brighter gold as a fringe, I think that will work. So I'm going to put that little wash on there now. And I know we're going to have to wrap up soon enough, but I really appreciate you guys popping on. This was such a last minute fun thing for me. I apologize that it's so big, but I think it's going to be stunning when it's done. And it will be very easy for you guys to do too. When I get you that pattern, you just cut the pieces out of, I use an Amazon box because, you know, they're coming every day today. And I will post it. And if you want to follow me, if in the description, there's a little information there is about my private community. I have a private community, and I will post that stuff in there too. And so you'll always find it. And there's also a link there for Craft Round the Clock. If you are not a follower, please do. Craft Round the Clock is the live crafting all day, the weekdays, events on the weekend sometimes. And so that's going to dry, and I think it would work well to put just the little strings on there. The belt buckle, there's not much to it. Maybe I'll just take a little of that burnt sienna and just do a little shadow here, one side. The difference of the shading I did on the arm in this, for instance, I double loaded my brush on this one with the dark teal and the light color on one. This, I'm just doing a wash. I just have water on my brush, just damp brush, and I just put my brush into that burnt sienna, and I just do one side. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other. And I appreciate it. And you guys, stay tuned. We have a whole day of cardboard crafting. What you need to do is just refresh your page afterwards. If you're on Craft Around the Clock, sometimes you won't see the next crafted pop right up. You just need to refresh your page. So look at just a little bit of shading and highlighting, and you've got a cool little cardboard belt buckle. Nothing else on the arms. This is still drying. Face. Let's just do a quick little finish of the face. You just need a little highlight on the right side. It's usually like a little comma shape. It makes the eyes. And I'm going to just do a little lid, an eyelid there for that part of it. I think his face is pretty cute. So I'm going to just work on, if this is dry, I can just make, I'm just going to make a little eyelid. And, you know, I might even go towards the pink shade, just something a little darker than the flesh that we just had for the whole face. It's 11:30, you guys, so I have to pop off. And I'm going to continue crafting, and I'll post the pictures in a little while. And if you are watching this even on replay, put pattern in the comments, and I'll make sure you get a pattern. And have a great day, you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Fun, a last minute pop on. Bye.